Hey guys, welcome back to another stream. I'm joined by Younes. He definitely has the most appearances on my channel by far at this point. I think it's that birthday twin energy, as I like to say.
It is.
So Younes, thanks so much for joining. How's it going?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on. I'm good, but I'm great. Personally, I'm good. Like just me individually, I'm good. But in terms of what's happened over the last few days, I'm great. I am so happy. It's unbelievable.
I'm still crying.
Yeah, you were crying. You weren't the only one. I mean, you can take it for what it is. George Benson cried. So that tells you everything you need to know. If Benson's crying, then everyone's crying. So,
I wasn't expecting it at all. Mason scored, and I just lost it. Like the tears just started flooding, and I was like, "What is happening?" I was just so emotional because I felt like we were so close, and we needed a second, and why are we missing all of our chances? And then he scored, and I was like.
Like can't believe it. Honestly, that reaction was unbelievable. And when I look back, like I remember the celebrations of 2012 and that semi-final and Torres scoring and how much we went crazy. It was the same energy. We've waited so long for that, and we finally have it. It's so good. It's so good. I'm so happy. And for Mason Mount to get that goal, out of all players, Mount just it's unbelievable.
It was really, really good positioning by Mount and really good of course to get around Courtois a second time, just take his time, have composure to pick out the pass. God, such a talented young squad that we have here. So we talked months ago and you freaking called it. You said if we get past Atletico Madrid, we could win the Champions League. And I was like, you're nuts. You're crazy. And now here we are in the Champions League final. Like, I want your lotto numbers, honestly, because I would have never
that. I want good lotto numbers. I've played a lot of times and I just don't win. So, I don't know. Maybe it was a one-time deal. But yeah, I remember, and I said, if we got past Atletico, we could begin to dream. Those are my words. And I still think a lot of people were looking at it from the point of view of, nah, it's just too quick. It's too quick. It can't happen that fast. It just can't. We were 10th. We were struggling. We get a new manager. Our fortunes change a little bit. We're not getting to the final. We just won't. Come on, be realistic. But from what I saw on the Thomas Tuchel and the impact that it had, and beating Atletico, not just beating Atletico, but making them look basic in the way that we did, that's not by accident. Atletico are not a rubbish team. And especially if we were playing against a team that attacks a lot, then cool. But all they do is sit back and defend, and they're so robust and they're so concrete, and we still got through. Yeah. That gave me confidence. That gave me so much confidence looking into the other teams and only being scared of Bayern Munich. Yeah. At the time, I was only looking at Bayern Munich and going, I don't want to play them. The rest, bring them on. And it worked nicely. We've got a nice draw. Other teams got knocked out. Bayern Munich got knocked out. PSG have been knocked out. And now we just got close to the final. So, yeah.
It's crazy. And just to go off of your point, like not only making Atletico Madrid look basic, like you said, but Real Madrid as well. Like they hadn't lost in like 20 games or something like that. Like this is no easy side, you guys. Like their players are older, yes, but they have that experience, especially to dig deep in those semi-final times when Chelsea don't have that. It's a really young team. So to make them look how we did and just not give them anything on the ball, I was reading in the newspaper that it was their worst attacking return in 18 years because they only registered one shot on target in the first leg. In the second leg, I'm not sure, maybe a little bit better. It's crazy. Like they have maybe 2 or 3 chances that Mendy was insane, but I can't think of any other clear-cut opportunities. So like Chelsea are just making these really elite teams look, normal.
Like
what do you think about that?
And that's the beauty of it, and that's why I'm going into these 2 finals now. And I don't want to say I'm confident, but Yeah, we can win both. We can win both. We we really can. And the faith comes with Thomas Tuchel. He's proven that he is such a top manager, and he's making all the other managers look, as I've said, basic. And it's not just a case of, this is the thing. With managers, they all have their way, right? And they all have their philosophies, and they all have the way that they want their teams to play. But with Tuchel, it's different. With Tuchel, it's not necessarily like he has a philosophy. It's more of I'm going to counter what any other manager tries to do against me, and I'm going to win. And it's crazy. He sets teams up in a different manner to different opponents, to different managers, to different systems, and we win every single time. It's crazy. We don't even concede goals anymore. It's just unbelievable. So the credit goes to Thomas Tuchel. To making all these teams just look basic. And, he's been up against Guardiola now. He's been up against Mourinho. He's been up against Zidane, Ancelotti, Simeone. The list goes on. All of them, L, just multiple L's, And I honestly look at Chelsea going into next season, and if I wasn't a Chelsea fan, I'd be scared of us. I would actually be scared of us.
Because Chelsea have kept it's like a ridiculous amount of clean sheets, and the number of, I think out of all of the 23 games or something, maybe 5 we haven't kept clean sheets in, something like that. And most of the time just conceding 1 goal, except for that awful West Brom game that we're just going to push to the side. No, yeah, that never happened. We don't talk about that. So, I think that it's even more impressive that he took over this team at the middle of the season. It's only been 4 months.
5 months.
Yeah. That is absolutely insane to see that change. And not only are Chelsea not conceding goals, but we're also creating a lot of chances. Yes, the players need to get better at putting away those chances. That's going to come, I think. But just can you imagine how good this team already is, how good they're going to be next season if they've already reached 2 finals this year? We can definitely be challenging for the title, I think.
Easy. And I'm not saying that, just because we're in a good moment. We will challenge Man City for the title next season. And I think we have the advantage. If you'd look at this season, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but if you look at Tuchel, and if he had started this season from the beginning, we'd be champions. And I say that now, we'd be champions.
Man City had a terrible start to the season.
We were 10th at one point. It's crazy. We were 10th. We were down and out. We were losing to Arsenal. Which is crazy in itself.
Game in who knows how long. It was 10 without a win or something.
We remember the whole Bob the Builder joke. We revived Arsenal, and now they've gone back to base again. But it's just if from the moment Tuchel took over, it's just been, he's about to turn what would have been Chelsea's worst season in I don't know how many years into our best season ever. Even better than 2012. When you look at it in terms of actually finishing in the top 4, winning the FA Cup, winning the Champions League in the manner that we're doing it, when you compare the two, it's actually better than 2012. With 2012, there's a whole side story to it, and the legends, and it was their last chance, and you could write a movie about 2012. It was destiny. But with this, it was just pure hard work, pure just Tuchel with a plan, knowing exactly how to overcome any opponent that's in front of him. With what he has. That's the beauty of it. He's taken what he has. It's not his players. He's just come into the team and gone, okay, I have this. I'm going to make it work. And he's about to turn it into Chelsea's best season. It's unbelievable. And with Tuchel, I haven't seen an impact like this since 2004 Jose. Since prime Mourinho, we haven't had impact like this. And when you look at it, when you think about it, it could be better. Maybe Tuchel is actually better than prime Mourinho, which scares me. It scares me.
It's really interesting because I felt like when he was appointed, a lot of us were I don't know
skeptical
about this, super skeptical.
I was worried.
Completely changed all of our minds. I don't think you'll find a Chelsea fan that isn't over the moon with Thomas Tuchel right now, and just how he speaks in the press conferences, how he relates to the fans, how he relates to the players. It seems that everybody seems included. They all know what their job is. Even if they're not playing, you don't really see anybody really, maybe there's like a couple of players like Tammy or Giroud that are a bit more on the fringes, but for the most part, I feel like he's been managing the team extremely well. And it's just like so impressive. Like how like I can't even imagine how he's taken this team so far, like what changes he's made, the defense for one, but just implementing his philosophy. It's mind-blowing.
It's unreal. The thing with Tuchel is I look at other managers, and as I've said, they have a philosophy. They have a blueprint of what they want to impose on the team. With Tuchel, it's in reverse. With Tuchel, he gets the players to work to the circumstances that we've been exposed to. So it's almost just like it's on a daily, but it's on an ad hoc basis. And it's just working. With Tuchel, it's crazy in the manner of I can't really understand or believe how much detail he puts into his work. Like, he doesn't leave any corner untouched or unturned. It's just every single little detail, he's already gone through it. And the players know exactly what instruction they need to follow. And it just all clicks. It's crazy. In 5 months, I find that unbelievable. I find that unbelievable. It doesn't compute.
No, it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. And I think, like, imagine Chelsea just start taking their chances a little bit more. I think I expected goals over the entire Madrid, like the first and second leg. I think it was like 5 or 6, like something absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. There was like 0.9. Like I saw this. I don't know how true it is, but I saw it on Twitter, so I think it's like pretty true. I don't know.
Yeah, everything you see on Twitter is true.
Yeah. Wow, I just banged my toe. So, imagine like once this team has some more chemistry as well, players like Timo, Werner starting to come more into their own and scoring goals, because he's had a lot of attempts that were easy chances. You're expecting that he's going to take those chances next season and probably get them. A couple of ones hit the crossbar, a lot of assists as well. So like, even players that, haven't been performing maybe as highly as we expect them to, Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, Hakim Ziyech, they could come into this team even more. Christian Pulisic has been out injured basically the entire season. He's coming back. If he can stay fit, that's massive as well. So like that chemistry that's starting to build can develop, and like if they just convert half of the chances that they create, we could be outscoring teams by 2 to 3 goals easily.
Easy. And that's the one last remaining piece of the puzzle. And Tuchel knows that. And that's the thing with him as well. He comes out and he's always honest. He always just speaks exactly what we're all feeling and how we all see it. We like that Real Madrid second leg, that could have finished 6-0. It really could have finished 6-0. Especially the second half. It was just being able to win possession, get on the break, get past Modric, Cruz, boom, we're 3-on-2. And it happens so many times, It again tells us that tactically we're just so clued on. And it's just unreal to make Real Madrid, like a team like Real Madrid, react in that manner where they're in panic and they could have honestly conceded about 6. That just shows you exactly what we could do. And when you compare to Manchester City, yes, they're known for scoring goals. They're known at the moment for defending well, but I don't necessarily think it's defending well. I think it's the manner in how they score goals which protects their defense. With us, it's the other way around. With us, it's our defense is solid. We're just struggling to score goals, but we get 1 and 2 sometimes, and it could be 6, it could be 5, it could be 4. So if we just fix that, we have everything. If we fix that, we are the most well-rounded, perfect team, I'd say. I don't want to say in world football, I'll say in the Premier League.
It could be world football. You're thinking it. Yeah, I mean, just thinking like how young these players are as well. Mason Mount is 22.
Exactly. That scares me as well.
22. Kai Havertz is 21, I think. Timo Werner just turned 25. I think.
25. Yeah.
So these players are so young, and they're not even near their prime, and they're already playing like Mason Mount's. Like, are you joking? You're only 22 and you're already playing like that? Like, it's insane. It's scary.
It's scary.
How good this team can truly become.
And when you think of next season, I mean, let's see how we finish this season. If we can finish European champions, FA Cup winners, and then go into the summer window with that title, especially Champions League winners, we can attract anyone.
Yeah.
And then you look at Thomas Tuchel going through a summer window where he can get any player that he wants, right? And I would, if I was Marina, I'd be like, look, you have a blank check.
Yeah,
you have a green card. You can do what you want, mate. Get any player you want, and I'll say yes, right? As long as you allow Tuchel to get what he wants, can you imagine him blending whoever he brings in with the team that we have at the moment, the momentum that we have, the manager that we have going into next season from the first game? It's going to be crazy. It's going to be great. And honestly, we'll see what happens in the Champions League final. We'll see what happens this weekend as well, but I'll put us as title favourites. And if Tuchel can win the Premier League title in his second season, having won the Champions League already, he'll probably go down as, and no disrespect to Jose because I love him to bits, but he'd go down as probably our greatest ever manager at that point.
Interesting. Which
is mad.
It's mad, but I was so sick the day of the semi-final. Like, I didn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I was shaking during the game. Like, I can't even imagine how I'm going to be
for the final.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I didn't see the 2012 one. I suck. I started supporting like the year after, so I missed it. And my husband was like, "Oh, do you want to go to a bar and watch the game?" And I was like, "I cannot be around any Madrid fans right now." Like, absolutely not.
Yeah, you're on enemy territory, aren't you?
Yeah, I was like, if we lose, we have to move. I can't live here anymore.
Well, we did win. We got through. That would have been fun if you had just screamed in the middle of loads of Madrid fans and just started celebrating by yourself. That would be amazing.
I'm pretty sure they would have killed me, honestly.
Yeah, probably.
So that kind of brings us to some questions. Guys, sorry, I have been not keeping up with the chat, but if you have any questions for myself or Younes or that you want us to get to, feel free to ask in the chat. I'll try to get to as many as possible, but I have one that I have been wanting to ask, and so I just haven't looked at anything else. So Matthew says, what's your opinion on the backlash against Hazard? What's up with Courtois Senior speaking out? And I don't know if you saw like the translated video. I watched the video on El Chiringuito.
I have, yeah.
It was bad. That
was bad.
It was really, really bad. And I've talked to many Madrid fans, and they are pissed with Hazard.
Yeah, they want his head on a stick.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, let's put that to the side one bit because I understand I'm going to speak about that. But just that segment on that program at the beginning, it was something out of a mafia movie. I mean, the background music, the Hazard picture, he's like this, looking at the camera, just like, are you about to get a gun out? Are you about to start shooting up the place? It was crazy.
Like, who allows that? You know, like they've gotten so much publicity from it. But honestly, I was like, I messaged somebody and I was like, is this a joke? Because I honestly thought that it was a joke because I was like, this is too weird to be somebody's actual like opinion acting like that on TV. Like, I thought it was crazy.
And I know they're very Real Madrid orientated, aren't they? So like
they call it Madridismo?
Yeah.
Something like that, like Madridism.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
they have their own verb for the team, which just tells you a lot.
It's crazy. Immediately after, when I saw the whole Hazard thing, but when it happened, and it's funny because I spoke with my dad, and my dad spoke about it because I reminded him. I was like, "You see Hazard laughing?" And he was like, "Yeah, they're not gonna like that." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he went, "Nah, man, Madrid fans, nah." And I'm just like, I can see where you're coming from because I look back and they booed Ronaldo. I mean, you saw what happened with Gareth Bale. Yeah, like at one point they booed Ronaldo just before he was leaving. I know there was really some bad results, and it's like with Real Madrid fans, they just need to scapegoat someone. So go to the main man. It's as simple as that. So it's crazy. But when that happened, I understand Real Madrid fans. I get where they're coming from. Because if it were me, and with Real Madrid, because it's Real Madrid, because it's, the most decorated team in European football history because they've won like 13 Champions Leagues, or 14. I don't know how many, I've lost count. I can understand that in a semi-final away from home where the stakes are so high, in a game where they looked really, really, as I said, really basic because Chelsea just made them look like nothing, you're gonna be peed off. And if I see one of my players laughing like that immediately after halftime, I'm gonna ask some questions. I'm gonna be like, "Yo, do you not care, or like what's going on?" But with Real Madrid fans, they take it to another level. With Eden Hazard now, I understand him, and it was naive of him because he's seeing his old friends, he's seeing his old colleagues, he's seeing guys that he spent 7 years with. He's at the ground where he was playing for 7 years, and he had such a good and decorated time with us. So I understand his point of view. It was just naive to do it on camera. It was naive to do it on the pitch. He should have waited and gone, "Yo, let's go inside and we can catch up in the dressing room." And I said it in my review. I said, look, he could have gone inside and gone, "Yeah, okay, come into the dressing room." Chelsea could have brought him into the dressing room. "Hey, lad, do you want a drink or something? Do you want to celebrate with us? Because, you're Eden Hazard. You're one of us. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you'll be happy for us. So, come in and have a drink. Just leave Thibaut Courtois out. Let him, keep him in the other one." I understand his point of view. It was just naive for him to do it on the pitch in front of the cameras at that time.
Yeah, but I think like the thing that a lot of people don't realize with Hazard is he's literally the most chill, laid back, carefree person.
He is, yeah.
Ever. Like, I've talked to some people who have met him, and they're like, he was literally just treating me like I was just another person, that he just wanted to get to know me and talk to me, and he was super nice. And I think that that's just who he is. He doesn't take football too seriously.
No, he doesn't.
That he'll show up like a little bit overweight, or he doesn't train and he just plays FIFA or whatever, and then he goes and smashes it. And that's like kind of what Eden Hazard has done. And I think it's just his personality to be like, oh, like I've seen my old friends, just going to joke with them, and he's just like super carefree and laughing and joking and just all around good time. But I understand why they're mad, like to see him just laughing about with Chelsea players, but I think you have to like take it with a pinch of salt. Like, okay, this was his home for 7 years, and not for nothing, he hasn't felt at home in Madrid. Oh, sorry, the construction is so loud.
That's fine.
Like Madrid fans do not rate Hazard at all.
No, and this is the problem.
I feel bad for the guy. I'm like, this poor guy, he's just going back to Stamford Bridge laughing. Yes, it was naive of him to do so, but to get so much negative press from just that incident, I thought it was like really over the top.
I think it was a complete like addition of everything that's happened recently, because Eden Hazard's been injured for so many times. He's not been the player that's come in to replace Ronaldo. He's, it's just not gone as it should have. And then you add that, and that's where Real Madrid fans explode. So it's like been a ticking time bomb, and then he done that, and that's it. Boom. Now they're probably thinking, okay, 2 years, he's done nothing. He doesn't care. I want him out. And I look at it from that point of view, and I get it. I see where they're looking from. But as you've acknowledged, they haven't understood what Eden Hazard's about, or what his character is. This was the one thing I criticized him about when he was at Chelsea, is that he can be too relaxed. He can be too chill. Mm-hmm. He is a player with the potential to get to Messi or Ronaldo's level. He has it. But he's admitted himself. And I remember when he spoke in an interview and he said, "I'm not looking to reach Messi or Ronaldo's level. That's, as long as my team win and my team are cool and I'm contributing to the team, I'm fine." And I saw that and I thought, okay, well, clearly you're not. That's just how he is. He's not someone that strives for greatness. He just plays football. And as long as his team wins, he's happy. That's how chill he is. And that's just how he is. You can't change that. And I don't think Real Madrid fans have understood it.
No, they say, oh, he doesn't deserve to wear the shirts. Like, he doesn't understand Madridism.
No. And again, I can get that because of how big Real Madrid are.
Yeah,
what they've done.
How serious they take it as well.
Yeah.
But I just felt really bad for the guy. I really did. And they said, we waited for him to show up for 2 years and he's just been injured. It's like, he's been injured. Like, there's only so much you can control about it. But so, I feel really bad. Looks like Real Madrid fans want him out. Would you take Hazard back at the club for a ridiculously reduced price? Let's not even say that it's a lot, but I don't know. Let's say 40 or under. maybe
No.
30. No, not to save him.
I wouldn't. No. I mean, look, when you look back at it now, it was his choice to leave Chelsea. Chelsea were happy to keep him. Chelsea would never have let him go, by choice. He wanted to go to Real Madrid. It was his dream. Chelsea wished him well. He went. It's not worked out. Now you look back, and it's probably the wrong decision. Can you imagine if he had stayed?
That's his screener on the other side.
Exactly. And now I'm quite convinced he's not the same player. Those injuries have just changed him. He's hit 30. You will not get the Eden Hazard that we had. It just won't happen. It just won't happen.
So sad.
And it is. And, that's not to say there isn't a baller in there. There is. And he still, I'm sure, has good moments in him. But that physicality that you need to compete in the Premier League. And when you look at, the game at Real Madrid, we completely outran Real Madrid. We outworked them. We done everything. Hazard himself couldn't keep up. To try and get him back to the level that he was at when he was at Chelsea, it's not going to happen. He will break. His body will just break down. He will have an injury because he spent 2 years in Madrid. You're going to have to go through an entire process, an entire recuperation process to try and get his body to adapt to that level again. And at 30 years old, with that time that's needed, it'll probably take until he's 32 for that to happen. It's just not going to happen. So I wouldn't. What's done is done. I fallen for nostalgia before. It hasn't worked. I'm not doing it again.
It hurts. If it were like his place, if it were like he's going to Chelsea to retire, he's really not going to play. He's not going to be on high wages. He's not going to cost, maybe even on a free or whatever, then I would consider it. But not to be an Eden Hazard of Chelsea that's going to lead the team. No, to come off the bench like a Drogba situation when he came back.
But you see, this is the thing. With Drogba, he came back because he has that leadership quality. He had Didier, Lamps, JT, all of them. They were part of a group where they were just leaders and they'd motivate each other and they'd put themselves through brick walls for each other. And Drogba brought that to the dressing room. And Jose at the time admitted that he brought Drogba back just to have that presence in the dressing room, to help the other lads and to show them what it means to really fight. Yeah. Hazard, we just mentioned, Hazard doesn't have that quality. That's not what he's like. He's relaxed. He's chilled. So even in a dressing room presence, he's not the guy. He's just not the guy. He's there for vibes. He's there for vibes.
He's there for vibes. That's enough.
He's there for vibes. This is why I said for the final, we can give him a backstage VIP ticket if he wants. He can come in the dressing room or something and just say hi.
Yeah.
And that's it.
My heart hurts for him because I'm like in the midst and everybody doesn't like him. And I'm like, I just want him to be happy. Like, I feel bad for him. But like you said, it's his choice to leave Chelsea. And
it was his choice. Yeah, exactly.
Without him, we wouldn't have been able to buy probably all of the players that we did as well. So who knows?
Exactly. So for us, it's worked out. And you look at Pulisic, for example. And I'm really happy he's coming back from injury and he's really getting back into form and all of that. You look at his cameo against Real Madrid, that's how Hazard should have looked like.
Yeah.
And we had it in Pulisic, so we're good. We're good.
I was so happy that Pulisic performed in that semifinal, but
yeah,
you guys know me, big Pulisic fan over here. So I promised I would try to get to some of your questions. So let's get into it. Brendan says, who would be a realistic striker for us to sign in the summer? Harry Kane is obviously not. I've seen some people say Harry Kane. He's not realistic at all. Liam Toomey told me basically 0% chance because Tottenham will never sell to Chelsea. They'll never do business with Chelsea. So just forget about Harry Kane. Lukaku looks like he wants to stay with Conte. Haaland, who knows? I don't know. Do you have any off the top of your head, or we've named them all?
I mean, to be honest, as I said, if we win the Champions League, we will have an advantage. At that point, our pull power becomes stronger. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, that could change things for Erling Haaland.
Yeah,
it could mean that Haaland
don't get Champions League. You never know.
I mean, exactly. You look at the final is City-Chelsea. It's the two teams that I think are most favourite to get Haaland. So Haaland could be watching that and going, okay, I'm joining the winner. We could have a Hazard situation, where he tweets, I'm joining the Champions League winner. We could get that from Haaland.
Close.
We could. We'll see. But it could still be unlikely. It could still be a case where he goes to City. You know, Aguero's going.
Or he waits he could just wait another season, and then you have his release clause for 70 whatever, and he has whatever pick of team that he wants.
Exactly. So, he could stay at Dortmund. So with Haaland, we don't know.
You think if Chelsea don't sign a striker in the summer, Tammy Abraham stays?
I think if Chelsea win the Champions League, Tammy stays.
Interesting.
Because I think he'll look at that and go, okay, maybe I need to lower my ego a bit. Maybe I'm part of something special, or maybe I should just stick around. You know, maybe he'll be humbled. There we are. That's the word. Maybe he'll be humbled. Because I think right now he's probably looking, I want to play. I want to be
like first team striker.
Yeah. But if he looks and he really acknowledges, Tuchel is actually doing an incredible job. I look to Mason, you know, Callum, Reece, some of the other lads. Maybe he'll humble himself and go, I should just stick with this process and I'll come good. Tuchel can change me. Maybe he'll be convinced, but we got to win that Champions League first. So it's a possibility that he might stick around if we don't get a striker. At the same time, as I've said, with Haaland being unlikely in terms of Man City, perhaps. Lukaku, I don't think will leave. Harry Kane's not happening, that's for sure. Unless if he forces it himself. Like, he needs to go to Daniel Levy and go, yo, Chelsea want me, I want to go to them. Like, that's the only way.
I don't think he would do that.
And I don't think he'd do that, no. So, Aguero as a short stop, perhaps, is a short-term option, maybe. You know, that's experience there. He can finish. He can come in and actually bang in goals. And maybe other strikers that we have could learn under him. It's possible. Apart from that, I can't see anyone else. We might end up with the same players we have now.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it would really be an atrocity to not sign a striker. I think, like, if you're looking to sign somebody, maybe a striker and a DM would be like the two places that I'm looking for. But even then, we still have so much attacking talent that, like we kind of said already, hasn't really been performing to their absolute best yet. So I think that they could potentially get there, and then you kind of fill that gap. Maybe you want to get one person, but you're willing to wait a year to get like the person that slots in perfectly to the team that you're trying to build. We have a question from Andrew. I'm just going to change it a little bit. Do you think that we should sign Rice this summer? And do you think that is possible?
If you'd asked me like a month and a half ago, I'd probably be like, yeah. But now, Jorginho apparently is getting a new contract.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know, and Jorginho's playing incredible. We do need a DM, though. We do need someone in that role, because as we've seen with Kovacic, if someone gets injured, there's a problem. You know, now we only have Jorginho Kante. Yeah. And Billy Gilmour is there, but, you know, there's a process with Gilmour that he needs to go through. So, yeah, we need a DM. But is Rice that answer? I don't know, because Rice is someone that comes in. He's not just going to sit on the bench. Like, he is a main man. He is someone that's probably going to have to play. And when you look at Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic, you can't disrupt that. Under Tuchel, you just can't disrupt it. It's working. It's clicking. I think in terms of a DM, we need someone that's physical. We need someone that's robust, someone that can come in and shut a game out, you know, especially if he plays alongside a Kante, for example, like a Kessie. When you look at AC Milan and Frank Kessie, that is someone that I think would fit in well, you know, and in terms of what we need in that role. Everything else we've got covered. As if we keep Jorginho, we haven't got to worry. So one DM is needed, but more as someone like a backup or someone that can come in to just shut up a game.
Sorry, I'm trying to like mute myself when the construction is going on so that you guys don't hear it too much. It's been like the landscapers the past couple of days. Now it's construction for this building right underneath us. And sorry, guys. So yeah, it will be interesting. I personally really like Declan Rice, and I think, you know, like you have players like Kante probably can't play every single game. Jorginho can play every game. They're aging as well. If one of them gets injured, you kind of, we have two options. I know Billy Gilmour can play there as well. We don't know if he's going to be at the club, if he's going to go out on loan. So I think it could make sense. But I don't know if the club is willing to take that like it's been spoken about a lot that the club doesn't really want to re-sign players that they sold because it looks like a mistake on their part, and they don't want to sign a player for 60 or 80 million that they let go and they could have had. So it will be interesting. I think, if Declan does come, he already has that connection with Chelsea, with Mason. He's a captain material as well. He's very vocal on the pitch. So it could be interesting. Somebody else that I just saw today and I was shocked, Salah to Chelsea. What?
Nah. Nah, we're good. I mean, to be, I'd have him. I won't lie. I'd have him, but we're good. Like in that position, we're good.
Yeah, we don't need any more wingers, I don't think.
No.
I just I don't know. He's so arrogant for me that sometimes I don't like players just because of their personality, even though he's brilliant. But I'm I don't quite like you as a person.
And no, I mean, even with Liverpool, you look at Salah and there are times where he's silenced, where he just looks like he's not in the game. Yeah. And we can't have that. As good as he is, especially on the ball and sometimes, but he kind of needs everything else around him to be working for him to work. And I think at Chelsea, with everything working at the moment, yes, it could fit for him. But no, in terms of wingers, I think we're good. I saw the rumor about Sancho and that we could actually be going in for Sancho in the summer, which we'll see about. But I mean, right now, I would trust Tuchel. I'd just be like, look, rumors what happened under Lampard. That's done. But if we look at Thomas Tuchel now, we don't actually really know who he wants. There's not been a rumor of who he actually wants, and I don't think he's actually made that public to anyone because he's so focused.
Not and say it either.
No, exactly. So when it gets to the summer, whoever he wants, I'm happy.
Yeah, exactly.
As simple as that.
Exactly. So we have a question from Maud, I think. Do you think RLC Ruben fits Tuchel's double sixes? And I'm going to kind of add to this question a little bit and say, out of all of the players who Chelsea have on loan right now, who do you think is the most likely to make it in the Chelsea side next season?
I was going to say Drinkwater.
He still has not been terminated.
He's still here?
That's still a thing.
I mean, with Loftus-Cheek, I don't see it. I mean, he can barely get into the Fulham team at the moment, let alone Chelsea. And again, with him, it's just completely unfortunate. That one post-season friendly that we shouldn't have played, we played, and it's completely finished him. And I think the concurrence now in the Chelsea midfield is just too high. I don't think he'll compete. I don't think he'll make it. And even for the style, he's not a double six. That's just not what he is. He is, you could say, an attacking 8. Right now, we're good in that position. We just simply don't need anyone, especially with Mason Mount. You look with Kai Havertz or possibly Pulisic, Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi dropping into that role. There's so many options. Loftus-Cheek is unfortunately just unnecessary. And it's not needed. But in terms of any other loan player, it's difficult. Tomori for sure. Tomori can definitely come in and do a job if he were to come back, which is unlikely, but we'll see. Yeah. I look at Conor Gallagher as one of the next ones to come through, possibly. And he's a top baller. He's someone that is... You look at Mason Mount and you look at Conor Gallagher and there's similarities there. But with Conor Gallagher, I just think there's more of a Jack Grealish feel to it in an aspect. Yeah. So it's I'm excited to see where he's going to go. So I'd say maybe Conor as one of the main men that's going to come in back into the Chelsea team and Tuchel's going to focus on.
Interesting. I would say maybe also Mark Guehi. I always mispronounce it.
Yeah, Guehi. Yeah, Guehi. Definitely.
He could, especially if you think about him being mentored under Thiago Silva as well. I think of that aspect to it could be really good, but it depends if one of our center backs leaves because they've all been pretty reliable, especially in this back 3 formation. Ethan Ampadu, everybody's forgotten about him. I feel but he just hasn't had the season that we expected. I thought that Sheffield would be an amazing loan for him, and they got relegated. So.
It's not working out for him.
Yeah, I know. He's another one. It's just unfortunate. So really unfortunate with timing and everything. But let's see. It's going to be interesting. Like Tuchel's going to have a preseason. I don't know how long the preseason is going to be with the Euros. Like I'm just not sure.
That's a very good point. I mean, when does the Euro start?
I'm gonna look it up right now, you guys. Lifetime Euros 2021 start. Let's see. June 11th.
Wow.
And then Euros 2021. What's the word? Not finale. I'm thinking finale. What's the final?
Final.
Why am I? No, see. To July 11th. Yeah, 1 month. And
So
then,
basically,
and then you usually have vacation on top of that as well.
oh my God. So we've got Champions League final, May 29th. Then literally under 2 weeks, we start the Euros. So that's crazy. And then 1 month, and then a month until the Premier League begins.
Yeah, exactly.
So it could be, and that could be, yeah, as you've said, 2 weeks or a week maybe of holiday. Yeah. And then they come back and they have to start preseason. Oh, it's going to be crazy.
This depends like how far each player gets in the Euros, if they decide to take vacation, if they decide to go back to Chelsea. But I don't think that Tuchel's going to have like a really long preseason. Like I got caught out in saying, oh, you know, we're going to have a preseason to get like for Tuchel to be able to like implement even more his ideas and work on this and understand the players and the gaps and whatever. But like
he might not have time.
The Euros are here. Yeah. That maybe you have a couple of weeks, if that, but it's really, really packed football schedule.
Yeah. And again, now having to realize the dates, I look at it and I think Tuchel doesn't have that much time. So which makes me hope that maybe all the Chelsea players can get eliminated except for the England ones. That would be great. If they could just all get eliminated from the group stage and we just have England left with Mason Mount and like Reece James and all of that, and we go on to win it, and that's it. We'll be good.
You reckon that England can win the Euros this year?
You know what?
You have a knack for predicting these things. So I have to ask.
The players we have are unbelievable. On paper, we have such a good squad now. And when you look, especially in that midfield, you've got Mount, Foden, Grealish, Sancho. I mean, that's, you know, you could stick Jude Bellingham in there as well because he's English. So it's mad. Him. It's actually insane. Rice, we have a fantastic team. It's just whether Southgate can actually, you know, get England to play the football that I think we're capable of because he's so negative. I'd say he's cautious. He's very cautious. He's like the frustration that people get with Southgate are the same frustrations that Arsenal have with Arteta, where it's just too cautious, very negative when you don't have to be, you know. Yeah. And I guess I can understand because of how he's been setting England up, and we done well at the World Cup and all of that. So maybe he's thinking, yeah, that will work, but the profile of players we have in the team has changed that. Like, we should really be an attacking team and going and killing teams because we can. Honestly, with the talent we have, we can pack out any country in the world when you think about it. It depends on Southgate. It depends on him.
Let's see. Neil asked Ellie, which team will you support during the Euros? So you guys know I'm American, so US obviously not in the Euros and usually gets out of the World Cup pretty early on. But yeah, my husband is Spanish, so I probably have to support Spain, but my heart kind of says England as well because I feel like I'm a wannabe Brit. I feel like I was born in the wrong country. So
just don't tell your husband. It's cool.
Yeah. So like head says Spain, heart says England. I'm not either of these things, so maybe I'll just support both of them because screw it. I'm American.
If Spain face England, then you've got a problem.
Yeah, then I've got a problem. And I can't go against Mason Mount. Like, I'm sorry. But I really don't know. I really don't know. My husband really likes the national team games as well. He doesn't watch a lot of football, but the national team he will watch. So
it's a fever, especially if the Euros or the World Cup. There's a certain fever that starts. You'll start seeing people that don't even watch football when they'll watch it just because it's a big tournament and it's just the fever.
The World Cup is massive.
Yeah, it's huge.
So yeah, I'm just going through all these comments to see if I find something. Oh, this is kind of a funny comment. It says, "Hey guys, saw the leak kit was legit from Footy Headline."
Yeah. Yeah. We have to play with that kit next season. Like, I can't. We might be Champions League winners in that kit. Haaland might have to sign for us and hold that kit up. Like, it's and I said this I said this yesterday with Matisse and Miz. I said, if they can change the yellow, if we win it, if they can change the yellow to gold, I'll let them off. Maybe I'll compromise.
Different patterns, like just pick. I don't care which one it is, but just pick one.
Pick one. I agree with you. Yeah,
you know?
I agree with you. Yeah. And to be honest with me, I'd go with the zigzags. Screw the checkered flag. Like, we're not Formula One. Like, I don't know why are we making ourselves look like a flag? Like, no, just go the zigzags and that's it. I'm good.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe the away kit. Maybe I'll get the third kit. Let's see.
Honestly, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm not buying that kit. Honestly, we'll have to boycott it. I mean, at this rate, protests seem to work in this country now, so we might as well go and protest the kit. We should all go out at Stamford Bridge and just be like, no, we demand a change to this kit. Nike, get lost. And,
yeah, it's not great, but yeah, it's true. Oh, Chris says, Stripper says, I'll still buy it though. I don't know if I would buy it.
That's the problem.
They're so expensive, you guys. They're so expensive. I don't know if I would buy it.
It's expensive, and at least if it was worth it. If it's worth it, if it's such a good kit, I'm like, okay, I'll take a one hit on this because cool, I'll keep it forever. But no, if you don't like it, don't buy it. And that will be the statement when Chelsea look at their sheets and they go, flipping out, we didn't sell a lot. There's a problem. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe now that there's going to be some fan, fan representation on the board apparently, or they're going to do more. Maybe that could be a stat. I volunteer myself. I will fly like every weekend. I will fly to London. I don't mind about that. Bukla says, how you celebrate winning the UCL? I'm going to be bawling my eyes out if we win, obviously. I think that's pretty clear from my Twitter. I don't know if you guys saw my Twitter photo. If you don't follow me on Twitter, check it out because it's hilarious. And I was just bawling, and people are like, why do you take a picture of yourself crying? I was like, I needed to capture this moment. I was so happy.
If we win it, I can't answer the question. I don't know what I'm capable of.
Well,
I remember 2012. And I remember jumping into my balcony and just screaming. I was with my best friend and with my dad as well. And we were all just going, yes! And just mental. And everyone was looking from the neighborhood, what's going on? Celebrations. It all kicked off. If we do it this year,
I'm flying to London. I don't even care.
Honestly, might have to go to Stamford Bridge and there'll be a street party. There'll probably be a street party outside the bridge. So I might just have to attend that.
That sounds so cool. I will be there. I don't know how, but I will make it happen. So, So just some final questions. We're just chilling. Tomorrow we play City. It feels really weird because we're playing the team that we're going to play in the Champions League final. Tuchel has come out and said that this is not going to be representative of what the final will be like. Whoever wins, I just feel like that game doesn't even exist. Like, it just feels too weird that we're going to be playing them right now. How do you see Tuchel and Chelsea going at it? I don't know.
The thing is with Tuchel and Chelsea, I look at a game like this and I get worried. I'm like, we might actually lose this one. But every time I think that, we get a result.
Yeah. So
we don't be surprised we go to the Etihad tomorrow and we win. It's crazy. But at the same time, this game, I'm here. This game has a lot at stake because if Man City beat us, they're officially champions.
Exactly. That's
And
literally what I was just about to say. I don't want to give that to them.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to give that to them either. And I don't want it to happen against us just because Man United couldn't be bothered to play against Liverpool and they decided to go on a protest. Like that would have probably sealed it. But
Yeah, exactly.
if they beat us, they win the title. If we beat them, top 4 is pretty much in the bag. So in itself, it is a final for both teams.
I know. Well, City are going to win the title. It's just a matter of when the exact date is going to be announced. But there's no way anybody's coming back to them. But I really want to win it just for top 4 because we've made it so hard on ourselves, especially that losing run in December has just completely I don't know. It's really impacted us, and we need to recover from. We're still recovering, right? We still have games that we should have won or drawn at least that were really difficult, and we have really difficult fixtures. Honestly, though, I almost feel better that we have difficult fixtures just because Chelsea typically have not performed against the lower sides, but we have performed against the bigger sides.
Well, which worries me because we play Arsenal, don't we? So they might get a result.
That's the one that worries me. We do not sack Arteta before the Chelsea game, which is going to happen. You know that they're going to have a remontada right before they play us.
No, but look, I watched Arsenal yesterday. I watched Villarreal. That was a shocking game of football. That was really bad. From both teams. Yeah. Both teams were terrible. So Arsenal can't get a result against us with the football we're playing. Come on, surely not. I understood it when we had Lampard and we were going through that time and they beat us. Cool, I get it, but not now. No, we should be trouncing them. We should be trouncing them.
So let's see. we have to. If for nothing for bragging rights.
Yeah. But another thing about tomorrow's game is also Tuchel says it doesn't have a relation to the Champions League final, and he's right. But I do think psychologically it could play a factor because it's the last time we see them until that final. Yeah. So it could be a case of it won't be the end of the world. If we lost, City will be confident going into that final. If we win, we'll be confident going into that final. But Tuchel's right. On a day, it's a final and anything can happen, so it shouldn't have much relevance. But there is that psychological edge.
It's true. And City have an extra rest day and they don't have to travel. Thomas Tuchel spoke about that in his presser, that he said these things that you might not take into consideration actually do impact, having one last day and having to travel to Manchester. And he said for the FA Cup semifinal when they were playing away and then they had to travel to Wembley, you could see that it impact. He said he was thinking about it on the pit on the sidelines that it looks like the travel impacted them a bit. So that's something else that you never want that to impact your team when playing against a massive side and in a massive game. But it's just another little aspect to take into consideration as well. So I really hope that we don't see any tired legs tomorrow. Maybe the adrenaline from Wednesday will keep going. And Tuchel did say that he's going to rotate quite a bit. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Gilmore gets a start then if he's rotating because nobody else can rotate into that pivot.
It's possible. It's possible. Or he goes with a single 6. This is the thing. Tuchel will have a plan. And we don't know what that plan is. We don't know what he's rotating. We just don't know, but it works. So whatever he chooses, cool.
Yeah, as much as we can try to figure it out, I never get I got in the starting 11 right once in all of the time that he's been manager. Just once I've gotten it 100%. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see who plays. But we have a lot of squad depth, which I think is really important, and a lot of really good players. Just a matter of who's playing because I'm sure everybody is knackered from the Champions League game. Yeah. So let's see. I just wanted to show this comment. I was like, what if we win, me and my kids after a decade that night in Villa Park?
Oh my God, that would be no. I mean, I did read that it's already been decided that no, Villa Park doesn't qualify under UEFA rules to host a European night at the moment. They need to make some upgrades and they need to do some things to Villa Park. It can't qualify for a final. So that's already dead. Apparently, it is going to be happening in Istanbul, and there will be fans.
Are
So
you
that's
going
good.
to Istanbul?
I don't think so. I don't think with what's happening here. Obviously, the players going for work will be able to go, no problem. The teams will be able to go. But in terms of fans going to Istanbul, there could be a whole process to that. We'll see what happens in terms of our legislation, because on May 17th, we find out the new travel rules. So we'll see what happens. We have to wait till then.
Yeah, for us, it's May 9th. The estado de alarma, the state of alarm gets stopped, expires, or lifts. Yeah. So we haven't been able. It's funny because I could go to the US, but I couldn't travel 20 minutes to the next comunidad. So
crazy, isn't it?
But I don't know. Let's see. I really want to travel. I don't think I'm not going to Istanbul, but I'll be celebrating from my apartment, or maybe if I go to a bar. But I don't want people to see me cry if we lose.
No, losing that final would be too. No, I couldn't take it.
Especially to City. If it's anybody else, I would feel like I would have more peace of mind about it. But just losing to City makes it I don't want to win the Champions League.
And this is the thing. We lost our first Champions League final. They have to go through the same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. They have to experience it like we experienced it, and then they'll win it on another year. But we'll see what happens. Can't lose though.
Historically they haven't performed in the big games. Pep tends to overthink his tactics a little bit.
Yeah.
So it will definitely be interesting, because I think a lot of these players, especially Aguero, De Bruyne, they're getting not De Bruyne, not as much, but Aguero especially, they're golden age of players. Even some have already left, like David Silva and somebody else. Oh, Company. They had all these amazing players, and I feel like they're thinking oh, now's our time to win it. This is our destiny, and I don't want to give it to them.
Especially Aguero, that will be his last game for City.
Yeah, exactly. So. So Pep won 14 out of 15 final. I meant in the Champions League. Sorry. In the Champions League, they haven't been performing well recently.
Pep's won 14 out of 15 finals. Not one of them was against Thomas Tuchel. I'm just saying.
And with that, I think that's the perfect way to end this stream. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Younes, thank you so much. It's always such a pleasure. So I have all of your links down in the description below. I'm pretty sure most of these people already know you, but let them know where they can find you, just in case they don't.
Just in case. Nice to meet you. Good evening. As a good Spanish manager would say. But you can find me here, Younes Talks Football, here on YouTube, as well as Twitter, YounesHH, and roll on the good times. Let's hope we finish this season in an absolutely historic fashion.
I hope so, man. I'm getting my heart is starting to race just thinking about it. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in, watching this video. Over 300 of you, which is absolutely insane. If you haven't liked this video, drop it a like. It really helps me out a lot. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Just hit 5K the other day, so that's super, super cool.
Congrats. Yeah, huge congrats. Road to 10K. Road to
10K. We move. So guys, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed this. We both, I'm sure, have so much planned for the last couple of games of the season. It's going to be really interesting. Make sure to subscribe to Younes because he's the best. And I hope you enjoyed this stream. I know I did. And until next time, I'm out.